Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Minimalist and this is the Girl Meets Yarn episode 25. Today is November 4th, 2019, and I'm coming to you guys from sunny Seattle. It was supposed to be, it was supposed to be super sunny today, and I was so excited. I was going to record, and it was going to be epic, and I'm sweating. And we woke up with super cloudy weather today, so you know it's November. We're supposed to be in raining non-stop, but we had 10 days of great weather, so I am a little spoiled. I want my great weather back. Where's my great weather? Anyway, so I'm coming to you guys from Seattle, like always, and I'm super excited to be here. Today we're gonna have a different episode. Not different, it's gonna be the same thing. So far it's so long. I have recorded this like 5 times. I don't know why, but let's do it 6 times. Today I'm going to try to not say so many times, and I even started recording I think the 3rd or 4th time, and I was just like, okay, like I have said so like 5 times. So I decided, okay, let's try it again. Be a little bit more coherent, is that a word? A little bit more like a soft base. It's almost 3 p.m. I cannot be here for long because my best friend's gonna call soon, and you guys know it's like my mom. If I don't pick up, we're mad. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about a little bit of an update, and we're gonna do the giveaway, or we're gonna do the giveaway first, and then we're gonna do the update, and then from there we're gonna morph into, I'm gonna go smooth sailing into FOs, and then we're going to go into work in progress, and we're going to go into a little bit of what I'm like using my hands like hello. We're gonna go in don't use your arms, and then we're gonna go to I'm gonna talk a little bit about capsule wardrobe and where I am right there, and I'm going to reply some questions that you guys have there, and I'm going to explain why this is here, and we're gonna move smooth sailing to sewing. Before that, if you don't follow me on Instagram, my handle is madblue_123, and my Ravelry is Minimalist Lugo. Like always, my Instagram is just my personal Instagram. I don't have one for knitting. I am not planning to have one for knitting. Now I have 2 handles. The second one, I'm going to probably talk about it next time, or the next time, because 2020, I'm coming for you. Okay, so let's start with what I'm wearing. I am wearing a shirt that I made, and I know this is gonna look weird, but I ran out of fabric, so it was supposed to be cut this way, the lines, but I didn't have enough fabric. This is the Monroe turtleneck, and this is a free pattern by Tessuti Fabrics, and I'm gonna talk about that. I made pretty much 3 of these, 2 for myself and 1 for my daughter, and again, it's a free pattern. If you don't know, go ahead and grab it. It's the easiest thing ever, I'm not kidding. And in my lips, you guys sometimes ask me, I have the, what's this? Hold on, let me put my awful glasses, because I cannot find my good glasses. This is the Ohi True Matte Lip in the color Icon, and doesn't get it. Anyway, so this is very brownish. It's supposed to be kind of a different color, but I love it. I love this brand. I bought this at Urban Outfitters, and I love it. Okay, so So giveaway, what are you talking about giveaway? So last time I record and I said who was the winner, and I'm gonna put the winner right here. I have not done that, but I will. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to check if the person followed me, and I'm going to like and subscribe the video that I did the giveaway or announced the giveaway. Last time I talked about the person who did won this bag, but the person have not contacted me, and I'm sorry now if you know, and now I gave you 2 weeks for that, and the next person who wins it has 2 weeks as well. If you don't want this, don't worry, I'm gonna keep it, because hello, this is gorgeous. Anyway, so I'm going to grab all the names. Again, I'm gonna put the winner here from YouTube, and I have some in my Instagram too. I was not very clear, so I'm going to take all those names and put it back on a drawing you know, place, and then pull one name out, and I'm gonna contact you, and I give you 2 weeks for you to reply, pretty much like a week, because I don't want to keep this like hello. Okay, so the winner will get, hold on, we're gonna get this bag that I personally stamped for this giveaway. It says work in progress and it's papel picado. I love it. And with that you get this skein cocaine that she gracefully gave for this giveaway, and this is in the Suri Cloud Special, in the color Special, and then you get the skinny also, and you can use it together or separate, and this is the skinny in the Special as well. So you will get these two together, and I want to give this away. If not, I'll give you 2 weeks. If not, it's mine. Just say. Okay, I say what I am wearing, what I'm gonna do. Yeah, okay, so let's do update. Okay, let's talk about what I have been going on. So last time I recorded, I flipped my closet right away. I'm gonna talk about that later, but I have lost my knitting mojo a little bit because of this situation again that I'm gonna explain later. But yeah. So not a lot, but one thing that happened was that last time on my episode, Ellie, I was not gonna say your name. I'm gonna say your name because I already did. Anyway, Ellie reached out to me and asked me what places should she check when she's in Seattle. She was gonna have like a weekend getaway with her friends. They were gonna meet here and, you know, like explore the city. She lives in Oregon. And I was like, oh my God, where are you gonna stay and whatever. Sorry. So she said that she was gonna stay in Bainbridge Island because she wanted to try and check out the yarn shop there that is Church Miles Yarn and Tea. If you don't know, is a very cute little store. It has a lot of followers, so you may know who it is. Anyway, so she said she was gonna stay there from Thursday, and I should meet her. And I told my husband, and my husband was like, "You're crazy! Like seriously, she can kill you, murder you, whatever. I don't know." And I'm like, "Hello, I don't think nobody will try that because, you know, like hello." I'm a little intimidated sometimes. But anyway, kidding aside, I was just like, "Hello, she's a knitter. I have, you know, I have seen her messages before, so I think I'm gonna be okay." So she said that she wanted to meet me in Seattle City, which is pretty much like a short ferry trip, like 30-minute ferry ride to Seattle from Bainbridge, or I can meet her in Bainbridge and we can go to Church Miles together. And I was like, hello, what? Yarn shopping? Yes, I am on it. So we decided to meet on Friday and meet at 12 at midday, noon, and I was just like, great, yes, I'll meet you there. So I took my stuff and I decided to take public transportation and meet her there. It was super long drive because I took the bus stop is right on the corner of this building that I live at. So this is why we live here, because of the bus stop. And then I went to where Pike Place and all the ferry stations are pretty much like a couple blocks apart. And then I took the ferry there. I barely made it, and then I took the ferry ride. It was 30 minutes, smooth sailing. And you guys don't know, we're near the shore. We're not near the shore, but we had a great sound. It's called the Puget Sound, and that is salt water. So you know, we have a bunch of islands here in this area in the Pacific Northwest, especially in this Seattle area, and we have a lot of ferries that goes, you know, and they're the cutest islands. I'm not kidding. Anyway, so I took my short ferry ride, and I can tell who Ellie was. So she was the cutest. She sent me all the information, where to go, turn here, right, left, you know, because she will definitely know that I will get lost anywhere. I will not get lost, but you know what I mean. She was very helpful about that. And I was like, great. So she said, meet me here, I will meet you in the street. And I just did that, wait for her. And I can tell she was Ellie, because she had like the cutest hat, scarf. She had a tegna that she made oversized, which is the cutest thing. And I may do one. Yeah. Anyway. And then she had pigtails. I had pigtails too. It was like the cutest thing, because it was raining that day, and you guys know, no, this hair is like chia pet. You put water on it and it's this big, because I have curly hair. I don't have curly hair. I have wavy hair. This is not real. Nothing about this hair is real. Like, hello, can we tell? Nothing is real. Anyway, I have no, this is not real. I was not feeling today the recording, but then I decided that, you know, maybe you get in the, you may get in the mood if you put, you may get in the mood if you put a little bit of liner. And hello, we lined these eyes up, and of course I got in the mood. It's just like the sassiest thing. I just put liner, I'm like, what? Anyway, back into Ellie. Okay, so I can spot her from a mile away, and we click right away. She is the cutest. Hi, Ellie. I'm not gonna tell her Instagram handle, because I don't think I have permission to do that, but I will post a picture here of us in the front of Church Mouse Yarn and Tea Shop. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about that, because I was so excited to go. We are very fortunate here. The knitting community, the sewing community, not that much, but the knitting, we are very fortunate, because we have Tolt, we have Church Mouse, we have all the stores in Portland, all the stores here. They're amazing. There's not a store that I will be like, well, the one in Pike Place, I'm not a fan, but you know what? Another day. I need like 3 tequila shots to tell you the stories of that store. Anyway, I don't like it. Okay. So we decided to go to Church Mouse, and I regret it, because I wish we did lunch first and we did all the talking, and then we went to Church Mouse, because I was very overwhelmed, because I wanted to do all the questions and everything, but then at the same time there was all this yarn calling my name, like neon signs, like touch me. So yeah, I'm sorry, Ellie, I am not crazy, it's just I was overwhelmed. I'm bullshitting you. I'm a little bit crazy. Just saying. But back to yarn. It's okay, so you take a short ride. You walk like a mile. It's like 12 minutes to the store, and there's like a cute little downtown there, and I was so excited. We went in, and the store is beautiful. Everything is like custom made, white, beautiful, like it's everything. Fixtures are top notch, fancy. Even bus horns are amazing. Even the little head things to put your hats on are like expensive. Oh yeah, very expensive, because they're like stuffed. It was something. I have to say, it was something. They had very, I would say, basic kind of yarn. They didn't have a lot of speckles. They didn't have a lot of hand dyed nothing. They had Malabrigo, if you can say that was like a very hand dyed thing, if we can say that. But they had a bunch of like Brooklyn Tweed, Rowan, Iciger, Blue Skies. They had cashmere too, you know, whatever. But they had a lot of kind of just brands that are big brands, and that was nice. For me, it was a little like because I wanted to find like hand dyers, you know, and Ellie was looking for hand dyed yarn as well. I wanted something more unique to the area than Rowan and Brooklyn Tweed, but you know, we that's what we got anyway, because there's so many stores here around that have it. Anyway, it was beautiful. Anyway, I have to say everything was so premium, and I can say this because I work in merchandising. I was a merchandising manager. I used to plan, take down, put back up, fold, and take pictures and get graded for my work. So I appreciate a store that is very easy to shop. Okay, everything, they had a huge wall of sweaters that were like perfectly folded, and they had all the description there. There's nothing given that you need to figure it out. Everything was figured out for you, digested, and beautifully presented. They had a bunch of yarn, and the yarn was very shoppable because you can grab one without everything tumbling down on you, and I hate when they do that. They just stuff and stuff and stuff these cubbies because they want everybody to know that they have the sweater quantity, whatever. And I think this one of the things that people don't get, that if you will get more sales from having one or two than when having 20 out. It was packed. This store was packed on a Friday noon, which by the way, I was like, you guys don't work? You guys don't work? But right there, because they have this new hat, and I'm going to talk about that, out, and they have the little head forms, and there were 3 different yarns, there was the same hat but knitted in 3 different yarns, and then it was with a little card with all the information, and the yarn was underneath, right there. You didn't need to go find it here or there. It was right underneath. It was brilliant. I was just like, I thank God this is not near me, because I will be here all the time. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, so I had a cute story there. There was this yarn and this hat, and somebody was buying the yarn for the hat, the same color, white, and I was just like, oh my God, I need it. And then I got the yarn. There was yarn sitting there, and the lady just bought the yarn, and I got the hat, and I just, you know, decided that I wanted to see what other color of yarn this yarn was coming in. So I took the hat, and then this lady was like, where's my hat? Where's the hat? Where's the yarn? And that lady bought also the yarn because of the hat. And then I bought it, and then Ellie bought it, because we're gonna have like, you know, kind of like a reminder of our day together. So it was the cutest thing. With that said, let's start talking about finished objects. Okay, so now that we're talking about the hat, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give you a little bit update about this hat. And I finished this hat. This is the slouchy hat by Petite Knits, and it was super tight, but I wet it and I blocked it, and I love it. I have used this one so much. And also this one, which is the Studio Barrette hat, I have used this so much. Then when I saw the hat, the studio hat, and I'm going to insert a picture here, I was like, yes. So that was the yarn that we were all like, you know, that was the hat that we were freaking out. We all were freaking out. So the yarn for that is this Brush Suri by Blue Sky Fibers, and is this beautiful white, is this, what, let me see, this is a DK, and it says that it has, hold on, because you guys know I have issues there. Let me keep it there. it has 67% baby suri alpaca, 25% merino, and then 11% bamboo. This is a 50-gram yarn. Oh my god, look at those cuticles. Let me change it to this one. Oh, this is even worse. Hold on. Okay, so it's a very cute yarn, and for that you needed 2, and I got 2. It was a very expensive yarn fabric. It was a very expensive yarn, and I got 2, and I was like, okay, let me change. Okay, so this is the first FO, and it's the Studio Verette by Church Mouse, and this is the hat. It's huge. It's huge! I am so mad that it's huge. So I'm going to put it on. It's not that cute. It's kind of cute, but you know what I mean. But it's a little big. I should just put it on the... Oh my god, it's so warm. So nice. Yeah. So I think it looks a little bit big. I don't know. Maybe if I put it on the dryer, wash it and put it in the dryer, it will look a little bit cuter. But I like this because it covers my ears, but I can wear my earrings with. I like to do sometimes this kind of hats and have like my hair on the back, like a side ponytail, stuff like that. I wish I did this one in a smaller needle, so I use you have 3 sizes for this hat. So this is a pay pattern, is $6. I thought it was a lot of money, but you know, it was the yarn and the hat pattern. It was a lot of money. Anyway, so you start with a new size 4 and you do the rib, then you go to 5 and you do a little bit more, and then you go ahead and you do the 6. I think I should have kept my wood needles because I that's cute here, by the way. I don't know, maybe it's me. Maybe I need to just put it on the dryer. Anyway, so I started with wood needles and it's really tight, and then you go to the 5 and you do a little bit, and then you start the increases. Whenever I went to 5 and 6, US 5 and 6 needle, I went to metal, and I think that was my problem. I need to start doing my gauge swatches for hats, definitely, because this, especially when it's a very fancy kind of you know, yarn like this one. This was very expensive. Anyway, so what can I say? I switched from wood needles because it was a little difficult to cast this on because of the tooth strands, and because it was, you know, this fluffy, it was getting all over. It was just really difficult. Even to join on the round was a little, you know, and I was just done. But I think my hands love wood needles way more. You know, it is what it is. This hat is to be made with a chunky yarn, and I think it will look really cute if you use a worsted with like a nice mohair, maybe something a little bit more, you know, speckle. I wanted something white, and I think I have talked about that recently. But if I am going to compare this one with the Studio Verette, which is, by the way, free pattern, I like the way they did the increases here way better than the ones from the Studio Verette, which is more of a sudden kind of increases. But you cannot see them here. You go up, 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 up until you start with your decreases here, and then you just go all the way to your crown. Doesn't give you the option to do the little thingy, but yeah, I wish I had do that because it will just give it a little cuteness into it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna try to see if I can just shrink it a little bit, and it will be perfect on me, because I do want to have a white hat. Like, it's so cute. I'm gonna use this so much because now I have black and white. super it. I think it's a fail just because I didn't get the gauge, I didn't get gauge. So I was, you know, I need to be a little bit more conscious about that, especially when I'm using yarn that is really fancy like this. But nevertheless, I'm gonna wear it. I'm gonna try to shrink it again in the dryer. Okay, let's talk about my next one. And I got yarn to do a hat that was in church mouse, and it was a free pattern, and this pattern is called the Minimalist hat, and you can find it on their website. It's made to be, it's written to be used with DK, worsted, chunky, a lot of weight of yarn, and I was in love with this yarn. And this yarn is just gonna go, okay, hold on. Okay, there we go. So this yarn, just need to stay still, is called the Woolfolk, why can I say Woolfolk? Woolfolk and the fleece. And I cannot show you because I'm like, seriously, what is wrong with you, Lisa? In the is the fleet yarn in the color, hold on, one day I'll get my shit together, in the color 27. And it's this beautiful yellow, mustardy yellow, and it's a tweedy texture. In this one, it says that is 100, I think it was 100%, oh, I found, it was 100% wool. Yeah, it's here. So it's 100% always ultimate merino wool. 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 Come on, out of focus. Okay, so I was so excited. I bought that one. This one was like $20 something. Thank God the yarn was the hat was free. The hat pattern was free. Anyway, super excited. I have this one dark, and I needed something that it was slouchy, because you know this one, Jesus, this one is like a condom. It's so tight on me. Although I love this hat so much, I wore it so many times, but I wanted something a little bit more looser, and I didn't read the instructions when I was starting the pattern, and I started with the instructions for the DK, because this is a DK base, a DK weight yarn, but if you go to their pattern and you do a search, you're gonna have a lot of minimalist hats, and you will see a bunch of different yarns that they're referring to. If you click into the one that's for the fleet yarn, it will tell you that you need to follow the instructions to do instead of a DK, just do the hat that like it's a worsted. Cannot talk today. So I did that. I didn't do that. I started with the DK. It was going so fast. I was pretty much here, and I was just like, I tried it on when you have like space now to try it on, enough, because I had like 4 inches, and I was just like, this is huge. This is huge. So I have to unravel the whole thing. I was so mad, but I unraveled it. This is really bad to unravel, so it's just because of the little nubs. It's just awful. So I was like, oh my God. So I was patient enough, and I unraveled it, and I started with the worsted, but then again, I didn't get the right gauge for my hands, and I was using metal needles. So I started with the worsted again, second time, and it was too big. So I finished it up. I was just like, well, you know, it's gonna be slouchy, whatever. But then when I put it on, it was huge. So I heard that Anna told me that she had put her hats in the dryer. So I got my hat and I put it in the dryer, and I had it there, like I forgot about it for 45 minutes. And I was just like, oh my God, my hat, because I was talking to my mom. And then when I brought it out of the dryer, it was like nothing happened. I was just like, it just been there for 45 minutes. It's supposed to be like for a little, for Mimi. But then I talked to her and I posted on Instagram, and people were like, no, you have to wash it, you know, like not have it soaking, but then put it on the dryer when it's a little bit, you know, damp. So I did that, and I did myself. And I think my machine is like, I don't know, weird, because it just like sometimes stops before and you're like, what? But things are dry, so it's kind of smart. So I think it was not making a lot of steam, so it was not super hot in the dryer. So Kat told me that if I'm using this yarn, and I was like, yes, and she's like, yeah, I needed to shrink it a little bit. So what I did, I followed her recommendation, which she said to just wash it, regular cycle, and then not spin it, and it will shrink. So I did that. Nothing happened. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have this huge hat. So anyway, so I did that and didn't work. I don't know. She said that it was hot. I put it in hot, and I don't know. It was just, it was huge. It was it was not hugging into my sides at all. Anyway, so Anna, which is always a meeting. If you don't know, Anna is an architect, and she is like a big shit architect here in Seattle, just so you know. And she's always like, she has like a bunch of people below her, and she has to have like a bunch of meetings. So anyway, that's why I admire her, because she just like knits, and she's so busy. Anyway, she has a long commute. Anyway, back to it. So she was like, yeah, you need to put it on the dryer when it's damp, and I did. And I was just like, I just did that, but nothing happened, because I already washed it. So I'm like, I'm gonna put it on the dryer, and I left it 5, 10, 15, 30 minutes, and nothing. It was huge. The same thing, it was not feeling like hot. The dryer was not super hot because it was on by itself. So I decided to do laundry. This is the longest thing. Do laundry, and then put this with the laundry, and then it shrank a little bit. So now I can wear it. That's all the story. Backstory, story time happened with the Minimalist hat. But great pattern. I really like it. You know, it's free. Check your gauge. You can do something like that. You can do any kind of yarn. Again, you can do combination of yarns and stuff like that. You guys know I love some free stuff. So yeah, by Minimalist by Church Mouse yarn and t-shirt. Okay, so 2 of the SOs, and I am done with Church Mouse for a little bit. I think I'm gonna make another one of these soon, and I have yarn for it, so I'm so excited. Anyway, so let's talk about the elephant in the room, and it's my diaphanous raglan by Jessie Made Design. And I am going to, whoop, I need to get to the side. Okay, so last time I talked about this design, I was pretty much without the, I think I did the rib, I don't remember, but I needed to pick up to make the neck rib. It was a little bit weird, I was a little bit worried that it was gonna be too big. This was, I'm not kidding, it looked, my bra, my under bra strap, you can see it. It was so deep, and I was so worried. Okay, however, if you are trying to make this, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. It's gonna work out. So what happened is that you start on the left shoulder, and you just go back and forth, and you start with the increases, and that's why you have this cute little detail here, but you increase up to here. I don't know if you can see, up to here. So you increase, and then you have a couple of rows that you do back and forth before you join on the round that are pretty much like 8 to 10 rows. I don't remember, but it's like a sustainable, a lot. Let's be less fancy. A lot of rows. that you are just going back and forth without increasing. So I think that's why when I put it on, it was really deep into it, because you don't have, you know, it was just like doing a weird thing. Then you go into the round and you work onto the round. And again, I use a US size 7 Addies for the body, and then I never go down to the suggested rib, but I did this time. It was a US size 4, and then went ahead and pick up for the neck, and it was really nice because she make you slip a stitch, so you pretty much have all the stitches that you need to pick up already there for you. So I was just like, okay, so now we're gonna do the dance of you need to pick 50 to say something, and you're like picking here and you're here 25, and you're like back up and you're trying to divide, you know. With this one I didn't have to do any of that because the stitches were already slipped for you, and they were like, hey, here. So I had no problem picking up for this neck at all. So that was like so great. And then she has this weird, not weird, but she has a video on her Instagram, and I talk about this. If you don't have Instagram, I don't know what you're gonna do with your life, because she has a video on Instagram. I don't know if you can, maybe you can access it if you don't have an Instagram handle or a profile. But anyway, so she gave you the instructions for it, and then I picked it up, and it was definitely right away, it was just like, sip it up. Now I'm like a prude, it's a little up too high, so I'm kidding. But yes, so thank God it worked out. You guys know I keep it 100%, and I was really worried about it, and I want to say now that there's no need, just be patient. I made all the mistakes for you. Anyway, so yeah, so super cute, and that is the neck rib. And then I am going to talk about the sleeves. I was set on doing the long sleeves. I was balloon sleeves. I was so excited. I was positive that I was going to do it, and I am going to, I was just like, I don't know where the yarn for this is, so I'm sorry. You can go back to my episodes because I talk about this yarn for a while. Anyway, so I had a little bit, not too much. I had like one full skein of the row 1 kit silk mohair in whatever color this is. And I was worried that I was not gonna have enough to make the balloon. And I was going to go to the store that I bought it just to buy a second one, just to have enough. And it was going to be conditioning, you know, in condition if I found it or not. And thank God I didn't go, because it was just not okay. So you pretty much are here when you are done. And I put all my stitches on my needles. I was using a US size 7 in a 12-inch cable, and I couldn't deal with it, so I have to go and change it to a 16-inch circular cable. And I was just like, I can't deal with this. So I was just like, okay, suck it up. I started, and I had to rip it up, bring it back to where it was, because this was so thin in my hands, and that big needle, I couldn't make it work. It was just like my hands were hurting, my neck was like this. It was so difficult for me to grab the super light lace weight yarn and make it work with the really big needle. So and you needed to go you have to go higher to get, yeah, it was not, yeah, you have to use a bigger size for the needle. So I was just like, what do you want from me? So I decided, made the executive decision that I couldn't do a full length sleeve. It was not gonna happen. So I just decided to the flutter sleeves, and you have kind of 5 or 6 variations for this pattern, so you have tons of options to make your sleeves. And I am super glad that I did this. However, you know, right now with this stack of stuff that I have here, I don't need another short sleeve sweater, so this will definitely have to be like my Thanksgiving sweater or something like that. Then I'm going to be inside, then I'm going to be you know, in an environment that I don't need to use too much sweaters or wear coats or nothing, just staying put in my house. So I think this will definitely be my Thanksgiving sweater, and I will use it probably in the spring and whatever. And let's take in consideration that it's brown. It's kind of like, it's really cute. It looks really cute on. It was a rose, and then you have this kind of like coppery bronze color, and it makes this cute little brown sweater, and I love it. If I have regrets, I have none. I saw somebody on Ravelry that instead of doing the mohair sleeve, she did regular sleeves. That was a good choice. She was really smart, because now with the winter coming, there's no need for me to do any of that, because I'm not gonna use short sleeve sweaters for a while. Okay, let's talk about work in progress. And I have a mess here, but last time I revived, this is blown out of proportion. No, that's not the one. It's this one. There we go. Well, let me just move it back. Okay, let's talk about work in progress. And I have revived the Junko Okamoto sweater bouquet. I started this a couple of months ago, and I let it sit a little bit on, I think it was not seasonal appropriate for me to do it. I was just not feeling it. Sorry. So I'm just like battling with the lights. There you go. No, no, I look like I have a, there you go. Okay, so maybe it's just, I need to do it from here. There you go. So I revived the, sorry, I just had like a battery change and everything changed, right? Okay. So I had this in a hiatus for a while. Last time we talked, I was here and I was ready to separate for the sleeves, and if you can tell, I did separate for the sleeve. Thank you, Jesus. It seriously has been the hardest thing to do. For me, before the separation of the sleeves is where everything is just like tense. I'm just like, ah! Yeah, this was one of those. Oh my God, it's gonna be night, like in 30 minutes. Okay, so I again did the modification, and I had the pattern, the chart has this big flower here, and then this was on the side, and then you had like a weird kind of other bush flowery thing here, and it was really tiny, and I just didn't like it. Number one, because from here, sometimes from here you had a lot of floats. Sometimes it was like 40 stitches of not using color work, so you were like grabbing the float from the back. It was a lot, so I was just like, you know what, I'm not gonna deal with that. I'm just gonna go ahead and take the flower that was here, put it in here, and then just duplicate this. And I think it worked tremendously. It looks more fill up, and I think for the bottom I'm gonna do the same thing, because you have, in some instances, you have 47 stitches floats, 47 stitches and 44. So I'm not into it. I'm just going to go ahead and switch it out, so I have like 20. I think it's manageable, but 47 stitches is too much. So this past you know, couple of weeks, I did separate for the sleeves, and I just let it sit. I've been letting my knitting sit for a while, just because I'm not being into knitting lately. If you don't know, if you don't remember, I used the shelter, broken twill shelter in the color Newsprint, and I think this one is the Hala. I'm using this combination. It's pretty kind of similar to the one that she did, and you guys know I love Junko, so So excited. I mean, chart 2 and 3. The front is 2, the back is 3. So it's always been very confusing for people when they do this one, that they do the chart 2 and then they just like, oh, now I'm gonna do the 3, and the 3 is like 2 and then 3. To do those 2 at the same time. So a little bit, you know, kind of confusing, and also to be, you know, like moving back and forth is a little pain in the butt, but you know, we do these things for the knitting. So far I love it. Then again, if I don't, you guys don't remember, this is a worsted weight yarn. I never get gauge with her. I always have to go down a complete weight, yarn weight size down. So if she asks for worsted, I have to go down to DK. And the same, she used sport, I have to go to her fingering. And I didn't want to do that. I don't remember if I don't know why I didn't do that. So it's a little bit heavier. I started with wood needles up to here just to bring the neck up and shorten it a little bit. Got gauge that way, and then I switched pretty much here to the metal needles just to you know, how to relax a little bit, because I do tend to knit a little bit tighter when I do wood. And it looks really nice. If you compare the floats from here, I don't know if you can tell. Let me take it out of here. I have some T-pins. I found some T-pins. I love T-pins. I used to use that a lot. Okay, so whoop. What is going on? I bought these T-pins to block my sweaters. I've seen some people do that, and I used to do tip-ins to do mannequins a lot. So I was like, yes, let's do some tip-ins. Sorry, I don't wanna drop those. And okay, so if I bring this forward and this I work with the wood needles, it looks really tight. It looks really, you know, it looks really condensed. But then here you see it's a little bit more wavy, and I think it's because I use number one, because there was longer floats, and number two, because I think I switched to the needles. But this is the close-up. Then again, I was gonna have this here, then a smaller one, and then this pretty much as high as that here. So now I think it looks more balanced for me. And I think for the bottom, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna change the charts up just to have more coherent kind of thing. But so far, so good. I am so excited to look at those little flowers. And let me show you the back, so I just show you the front. So here you have, again, the motif on the sides. And then you have, there's a big one here, a big flower. And I don't like, I really don't understand why she did this big flowers really pretty much here. But it works. So excited. I hope to finish at least go down to the rib for next time. Hope. Let's hope. So yeah, so I need to finish this one or the other before I get into my next pattern that I'm so excited, that I've been waiting years to make. And Anna is making it, and she's done. So mad. I'm kidding. Yeah, she inspired me, I inspired her. That happens. Okay, let's talk about my second FO. Let me push this back so you don't see the paper towel. Okay, let's talk about my second FO. Okay, so before I decided to do that video that I was talking about color work, I had this yarn already bought. Okay, for this pattern, I had this pattern already in my mood board. It was in line to be knitted, and I thought it was the best thing to do was just go ahead and go through it, do it, because I think it will definitely add value to my wardrobe, because and I'm gonna talk about that later, but I need a, you know, kind of like a more fingering, I need more fingering sport weight kind of sweaters in my life, more than rustic worsted. And then again, we're gonna talk about that later. But I found the Missoni Accomplished by Spastico. I went to my yarn shop and she showed me the yarn for this one first before I found the Astragal, and it's the Lichen and Lace Rustic Heather Sport, and it's in the color Nutmeg, and it's a very kind of like brown. I cannot say anything but brown. This is brown. And then I found this color, and this is the color Birch by the same company, Lichen and Lace, and there you go. So we have this too. So I thought that was gonna be super cute combination for my wardrobe, for what I need, and they had it available. The Missoni Accomplished is a free pattern by the girl Melissa from Spastico, and I am going to be very honest. I love her. I think she's great. I want to meet her one day, hug her and kiss her and whatever. And I think she's great, but I am very unbiased in what I'm going to say, and I'm going to say anything I'm not going to say anything bad, because but I want you guys to know that I am being very honest, not because I like her, because I really like this pattern. Okay, because I want to meet everybody, I want to be friends with everybody, but when you build friendships, it's very difficult to be unbiased, you're saying. Anyway, so without further ado, I'm going to show you my Spastico Missoni Accomplished sweater. I got gauge for this sweater, and I didn't get gauge with the suggested needle, which she used US size 6. Hold on, because I don't remember. One day. Yeah, I think I tossed it. Yeah, I think it's US size. I'm telling you. Oh my god, these needles are seriously bended. Okay, yes, this is size 5. US size 5. Okay. So I think she, if I'm not mistaken, I'll put it down. If I'm mistaken, I'll put it down here. But she got gauged with that US size 6, and I didn't get gauged with her needle, suggested needle. And I got gauged, but I didn't write it down. So I was just like, okay, great. So which is crazy, because I write everything down. Sometimes I just go through my notes to make this podcast, and I'm like, shit, like I need to make a podcast like every week, because I am not kidding. I have so much notes, so much to say that I forget about it. That is ridiculous. Anyway, so I didn't write down the needle size that I got gauged with, so I decided just to go and do a 5, because I think it was a 1 down. It looks a little bit small. I'm doing the size 2. If you don't know, these patterns are free. You can download them on their Ravelry page. You can go to the blog as well. So, and I have to be honest, I bought the yarn because I have it here and I want to support people locally. But we have to be very grateful for people who want to keep the tradition alive and are putting great things out there for us to use for free. Enough said. Anyway, so I am doing a size 2, and I am pretty much in love with this one, and that's why I want to say I'm not biased, because I knew what I was getting into. Okay, this is a pattern that she made for the beginner person, knitter out there that wants to dip their toes in sweater making. This is a great pattern for that. And also, if you are into a little bit, you know, you want to try color work and you want to try a sweater, you know how to do increases and all that, and you're a little bit worried, this will be the pattern for you. It's so simple, it's a joy, it's just like gliding out of my needles. I have worked with this sweater, like for a week. I just work on it whenever I'm like watching TV at night, and it's been flying out of my needles. It's so easy. It's so easy because you don't have a lot of more complicated techniques in here, like short rows, and which I think that's you know, a little complicated. And then you don't have a lot of float or rows of color work. You have like 5 rows of that color work. It's very simple, very memorizable. You can memorize it really easily, and then you go and then you do, you know, you kind of floss your brain with a chunk of in this instance of the gray, and then you go ahead and you do like 5 rows of the color work, and you're done. So you can dip your toes into it without be too overwhelming like a huge chart. So definitely is a great pattern for beginners. Is, you know, top down. I will have to say the only thing that I would say that is advanced, it will be making 1 stitch up. But you know, if you make hats or if you're making shawls, you already know how to do that. So definitely a great pattern to start getting into your sweater making. Because I have heard a lot of people say like, oh, what will be the beginner sweater, what will be a beginner sweater? And I will say this will be a beginner sweater for sweater. If you don't want to do the colorway, just skip it. And then if you want to dip your toes again in color work, this is going to be great. There's a lot of videos on how to do color work. I do my color work and I knit continental. So what I do, and I'm going to just, I don't know when I'm doing this, but I always have my 2 strands of yarn on my left hand. And what I do, I just twist my pinky first with the yarn that I'm not using that much, right? That I just have like 7 stitches with the brown and then 3 with the gray. So I'm going to always just knot or get my finger twisted with the yarn that I'm not using the most down, and then I will twist the other one and I will have my 2 threads in there. And then from there I just go and if I have 2, I pass the brown, that is the one I'm using more, between my ring and my middle finger, and then the one that I'm using less between my middle and my index. And then I have my 2 needles, my 2 threads right there ready to go. And then here I think I just did it the wrong way. I just go ahead and grab from there, and then I think this is the one that I'm using. There you go. So really easy if you're continental. You know, some people do different, like they have one on continental and then one they throw it. I don't do that. I just go ahead and I just move my pinky just to move my yarn, just to, you know, kind of feed it, whatever you call it. And then I just do you know, my charging or my picking up from there, and it's always tight. Because when you use when you're knitting, the one that you're using more is moving, but because this is on the bottom, it stays also tight, so you don't have to be adjusting too much if I do it that way. If you guys want to see a video of how I do color work and how I do like the bouquet and stuff like that, just let me know. You know, like whatever, maybe you don't learn shit, maybe you learn a lot. So just let me know on the comments below if you want me to show you how I do my color work. But then again, just because you have 5 rows of that color work and I don't catch my floats, it's really easy. So Missoni accomplished. So far so good. Again, I am a little bit worried that it's going to be too small on me, but if it is, it's because I didn't, again, pay attention on my gaze watching. It is what it is, right? Like, we always do the same errors over and over and over. So that's it for my whips. I have only 2. I am really cutting it down. I don't want to have too much at the same time. And then I'm going to go ahead and talk about dreaming in butter, because I do that. I think last time or the time before I talked about my petite knits sweater, and I have a question about that. I'm going to look it up and I'm going to reply to it right away. So hold on, let me get my shit together. And I'm going to reply to some questions here, why not? Okay. I think it's this one. No, this one. No, this one. Okay. Why do you hate the no frill? No. Do you like the style? You didn't like the style and fit. I've been wanting to knit it. And this one was from Becky Witt. I love the no frill sweater, and I do have this one that I have here. I made it again with the yarn that I have already bought for something else. So I love this combo, and let me get it out here. Why not? So this is my second no frill sweater. I use a Tweety yarn, and then I use a mohair with it, and I use like a bluish, grayish mohair, and you can tell here, you can see it right here. And then I use a Tweety one. I love this sweater so much. I cropped it a lot. Let me put it in here, and I think I talked about this a couple of episodes back. I may put it down here so you guys can follow, but I love that sweater so much. If I'm going to talk about the other no frill sweater, I don't like it because I thought the yarn was not consistent. You know, I totally understand that there's some variation from dye-a-lot to dye-a-lot, but from one to the other there was so much value in between, value meaning like tones to it, that it was just like night and day. It would look like it was two different yarns, and for me this was not what I was looking for. I spent a lot of money on this yarn. I was so excited. It was my big purchase here in Seattle, and I had a lot of issues with this pattern too. This pattern was translated, and I think the person who translated did a very okay job. It's not the best out there. I'm so excited that people are coming out with, you know, a top-down Raglan kind of basic. That's what we need in our lives, more than color work. But they're coming out with some other, there's so many patterns, but you know, this one was like the trendy one, and I was just like into the trend at the moment. So I was like, okay, perfect. So for this one, this was my second one, and I took all the errors and things that I did miss on the first one. I did on that one. What did I miss on the first one? Number one, the yarn was not what I like, what I thought I bought, and I didn't alternate skeins. I love the top and I love the bottom, but it looked like I had two different yarns. It was ridiculous. That was one. Number two, I followed the instructions to the dot, and instead of me doing a lot of research, and that again is my fault at all, I just went ahead and then followed the instructions to the dot. And I have hips. My hips are really big, not big, but you know what I mean, like I'm hippie. So she makes you go to 14 inches to start with the, or 12 to start with the hem, and then you do some decreases, and then you change your needle to something smaller. And when I finish it up, I look ridiculous. It was like a balloon, and it was hitting my hips, so it was not working. So what I did, I unraveled the pattern and I cut it. I think I pretty much cut it, and I shortened it up a lot, and then I didn't change the needle size, and I went ahead and I did the rib. So it was a problem with the color, and it was a problem with the fit. The fit I could figure it out, but then the yarn color was really bothering me. And the reality is that you can say whatever. We can say you're the greatest dyer in the world, whatever. If I'm not using it, what is the purpose? Like seriously, why is the purpose if I have something really cute on my closet that I never wear? For me, that is important. For you, it may be different. So this is all personal. So I went ahead and I dyed my no frill sweater, and this is what's going on. And this is my sweater now. So I bought red dye, and I bought it at Joann's, and I followed the instructions. I did the color, and I did also kind of like the another step for it to not bleed. Not that I'm gonna, you know, wash it on the washing machine, but I went ahead and I dyed it. I used vinegar to help I put it on the dye pot just to help the dye absorb better. And I dyed it, and it's now this beautiful color, and it looks a little bit here, you see, it's not flat. And to be honest, I don't mind. I have worn this since I dyed it pretty much 5 times since I have worn it, and before that I wore it once and I hated it. So did it work? Yeah, it did work. It worked tremendously. Like now I'm using it. I'm going to bring it forward. So I have the mohair didn't get the dye equally as the yarn, and this is getting blown out of proportion because of the lights, but I don't know if you can see those threads here. So that gives it like a little marble kind of situation here. I did mess it up. I didn't move it too much. I should have done that. So you have spots like this one that you didn't get that saturation there. So it looked a little bit patchy. But to be very honest, I have no problem with it. I have no problem with it. I have worn it again, if I repeat that, 5 times after that. So did it work? Yes. I call it the ritual dye. Now it's not Forever 21. So it's the warmest thing, and I want to make this combo of like superwash with the mohair more, and I want to do you know, things that are solid more. Yeah, but yeah, just an update on that. And if you have one of those sweaters that you never use and you think you can dye it, just go ahead. What I did, I boil some water, and then I add it in the tub, hot water from the tap, and then I put it on the hot water from the stove. I put it in there, and it was really hot. I added the dye, really diluted it really well, and then I soak this and I put it in already soak. I let it soak for like 20 minutes, so it didn't go from dry to getting wet. That's where you get a lot of the patchiness, and I still did get a lot of that, but I didn't move it too much because I didn't have any gloves, and I had gloves, but they have holes on it, so I was just like, my cuticles were like black. So I was just like trying to move it with you know, a wood what is it called, a wool moving thing, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, now even though it's a little bit patchy, I love it. I have worn it so much, and it's the warmest thing. Again, I crop this one. Why is this so? Okay, let me look at it. Okay, so if I put one on top of the other, I cropped it a lot this second time around. I again love this. I love them both. They're great. I'm not kidding. It's really cool. Okay, so I have this nice stack of sweaters. Okay, and these are the sweaters that I wear during the fall winter season. Okay, so I have my RBG, I have my Tecumseh, I have my Meg, my Plum, my Piece of Silver, my Koi Wa, my Astragal, I don't remember this name. My weekender, my wool and honey, and my twigs. And then I have this one, and then I have this one. So I'm gonna put them all together. And I do them by color. I'm just gonna put this in top in there. Call them. Why not? Ooh. Then I ask myself why my back is jacked up, because I do things like that. I have a rotator cuff issue, and I just did that. Okay. So in this past weekend, there we go. This is just so harsh. I'm gonna turn it around. There we go, better. Easier. Okay, so I flip my wardrobe. There you go. Okay, so this past couple of weeks I flipped my wardrobe, and that took me out of my I would say knitting mojo right away. There's like 3 helicopters coming my way. This is the weirdest thing. Anyway, back into it. And I lost a little bit of my steam on getting myself ready for fall. Why? Because I flipped my wardrobe. That means it's I just take everything that is summer and I wash it, fold it, and store it, and then I pull everything that is in storage that is fall and winter out, and I tried it on, okay, and I decide, okay, this is, I'm gonna donate it. Not, it doesn't fit, doesn't go with what I want this you know, this time around. So if I'm going to talk about colors, I have pretty much the same colors that I used last time, which are black, white, gray, and then I have red. I have that rusty red, mustard, and I have pink this time. So if I look into my and I have brown as well. So if I look into my, and sorry, Gringo is eating and he's really noisy. So I have all the colors that I need right away, right? If I can say that. But if I be more detailed, I will be, there's a lot of holes in my wardrobe right now. And you're gonna be like, what? There's a lot of, number one, there's a lot of sweaters. That's 6, 7, 10, 13 sweaters. To top that, I folded everything that is commercially made. Sweaters are commercially made, and I have a lot. I have 14 sweaters that are just folded, and I have, again, the same of these. I have some black, I have some gray, okay? And then if I see the shirts, I have shirts, meaning things that are like sweatshirts that I made, or button downs, or, you know, things that are considered to be for hanging. I have 17 of those, and I'm being very detailed here. And you're gonna be like, wow, 17, that's not that much. Well, given the fact that I don't wear that much stuff out, if you add 13, 14 sweaters and 17, that is pretty much a lot of sweaters and tops that I wear never, because pretty much I don't go out that many times in a month. Let's put it out. I don't have the need for more, so I don't have the need to make anything else besides what I have. So that's why my motto, kind of like my jam, slow down. But with that said, I do have some holes, okay, on my closet. I'm missing a lot of stuff. Sewing wise, I'm missing skirts and pants. I've been saying this for a long time. I want to dip my toes into jean making again. I want to do like a white ecru jeans. I want to do flares again in probably like a mustard color, stuff like that. And that is going to be my dream knitting for the next you know, things that I want to work after I work with a dress that I'm working on. for Frogtails that is going to be this weekend. Anyway, so I have to work on the holes that I have. So I have a lot of holes, skirts and pants wise, but I need to work on, you know, colors that I think it will be beneficial for me. So if I want to bring out my colors, I was trying to, you know, find like the right color, and I was like printing and printing and printing and printing stuff, and I was just like, I cannot find that like perfect orange and that perfect yellow and that perfect ecru, you know, kind of like bone white kind of color. And then I look into my, and this is gonna be the most ridiculous thing ever, but I found, I was looking at this today, trying to print the color that I needed, and it was not coming through with my printer. So I look it up, and I was just like, this is exactly what I need. So I love this color a lot. It's kind of, and it's blown out of proportion. Let me see. So you see, it's kind of like a orangey, but it has some tones of pink in it, and I think it's just gorgeous. And if you come and you you know, move this into here, I think I will be very beneficial to get a color like this. And then if you open the or the, you know, the onion is open, you see this beautiful yellowy kind of color that I don't own. And then pretty much here you have that ecru color. So, you know, I was just like, I took a picture of it and I was like, this is what I want. This is the hole that I need. So with that said, I have to be very mindful. The thing that I'm going to knit soon, what I'm going to knit next, just are part of, you know, this color scheme. Let me close my windows because everybody's looking at me. I'm not kidding. Okay. I'm recording. I'm recording, I didn't notice. Okay, so you will be like, you're ridiculous. It's not about being ridiculous. This is exactly what I need. So I get a lot of inspiration from nature. Right now I look out of my window and I see beautiful blues and you know, pink and a color pretty much like this and this right on the sky. So, you know, there's a lot of things around that I think are very inspirational. I love also something like this kind of greenish color. And then I was just like, okay, like, hello, like I have it in here. Also, I do have, I don't want to say this, but you know, I have this color and I'm missing a lot of, you know, kind of that goldy greenish, you cannot see it here, but I have that color. But I was looking around and I was just like, okay, so, you know, I have this, but I also have this yarn that I think it will work tremendously. It will be so spot on pretty like the onion. So you're gonna see me making something soon with this yarn. I bought this yarn a long time ago. What is going on? And I think it's time for me to use it. I also don't have anything like this. It's kind of like a goldie, and I also don't have anything that is green. And I look into my stash and I found that I have this green and it's being really blown out here because the lights are not making any justice for it. But although it's kind of like a cooler kind of green, I think I can pull it out. I have 3 and 3, so I'm gonna make something really simple with this too. Maybe I'll do a no frill or something similar like that. But I do have it in me. I do have the colors that I need. I'm not paying attention. Okay, so I also have this yarn, and this is a Scout, and I talk about this. I have 4 DK weight yarn from this one. And with that said, okay, so that's a lot of color combinations that I love to see. And then I'm going to insert some pictures here. I thought this was like the cutest jumpsuit, and is in suede, you know, faux suede, and I have a pattern by Work magazine that is just like that one, and I love everything about this. I love the colors, very similar to this, and I also love the styling with the bow. I love everything that is high necked. I don't have a huge neck, but I pretend that I do. I also love this inspiration picture. I took that one from Instagram. She has some mustard flares, and I think I talked about that already, that I want to do. And I love the simplicity of this, you know, this design here. You have a navy, although I don't own anything navy. It's my favorite color is navy. I don't own anything navy. But this combination right now is golden, even with the dark chocolate kind of burgundy purse. Love the buttons on the flares, everything, so I may recreate that. And then I also love this pleated skirt with the black sweater. The sweater is a very thin sweater, so I want to explore patterns are very simple that I can recreate that with kind of just like a fingering, maybe a lace weight that is pushing. But the skirt also with, you know, I do tend to have a very minimalist kind of aesthetic to me. I love this black satin skirt, and I love the styling with the crocodile boots or python. I don't know what this is. I don't think it does even, is that real? I don't know, it's just the pattern is so blown out of proportion. Anyway, so yeah, the black midi skirt, satin, very trendy, and I love even the sweater she has. She has very oversized ecru sweater. Hello, I don't have anything ecru on my stash here. This is more sewing, but I love this kind of, you know, high neck, round neck, kind of turtleneck. And then the oversized sweater, kind of oversized everything. I love the color, of course. And then this one with the blue jeans and the ecru oversized sweater, again, it's calling my name. I love ecru a lot. I love to wear dark or stripes or things like this a lot. So again, I'm a minimalist when it comes to my aesthetic, so I embrace everybody's aesthetic. Some people like it loud, some people like it colorful, some people like it whatever. This is what I do. This is what I like, okay? This other one with the cute little pants with mustard pants and the ecru sweater. This sweater is so amazing. I wish I can find a pattern that I can recreate this sweater in, because then again it's so simple, but I will use it so much. It looks like it's very fluffy, maybe has some more hair on it. And then I have this one that is bubbles, and I do have a pattern from the Lane magazine. I think it's from the girl from Retro Sadia. She did this sweater. I think this one has the knit, but I think she did the pearl, although there's other patterns that I have seen with the bubbles. I think this is a great way to do texture and make it different without too much fuss, and it's the same yarn. So lovely. And then this other one, I love it. This is everywhere. This is something that is very cheap. Probably some people who don't even have a home and live in a sweatshop make this for you. So if I can find a pattern, sorry, if I can make a pattern and make it myself and take that burden out of the people who work making this sweater for $30, I will do it. So beautiful, has some little bubbles and hearts at the same time. It looks like a chunky knit, and I love this. And if somebody can come in with this pattern, I will buy it for you. This is so freaking cute and trendy. Same thing, I have wanted to have a stripe, white and black stripe sweater, and I did started one, and I was using the wrong yarn, wrong size, and I may revisit that, and this is the pattern that I'm calling about. And you can revisit my YouTube channel to see which pattern I'm talking about, but I will put a picture here. And then these two girls are just pretty much and I took all these pictures, some from Instagrams, and then some from Pinterest. I don't tend to look too much in Pinterest, because I will pin things that I don't wear, or I will make it I will not wear, but I'm trying to be very curated with what I do make. So if you see the black skirt on these two girls, she has like a very tight, just a regular t-shirt, and I would love to recreate that with a Nikko top, or maybe the Rowan top from Megan Nielsen, if we're talking about sewing. But then if we see the girl who's with her, she has again a camel you know, jacket, and is a red one, really really simple. White on white, I love that. That's what I want to make. And I have holes for ecru sweaters and ecru pants, because I don't have any of that, and I don't have any of the camel, I don't have any of the stripes, I don't have any light gray. So right now I'm missing ecru, light gray, and beige on my stack. So that's what I'm gonna make. And then this color. Okay. White on white. And then now we're going to a little bit more specific into the knitting. I love this cardigan so much. You can tell it has mohair on it, and of course it's machinely made. Nobody, probably I will not find a pattern like that, but I do have a lot of need for cardigans. I have no cardigans. I'm scared of cardigans, so maybe that's 2020, the year of lace, texture, and cardigans. I'm declaring it. And then by Suzanne, I love this sweater. If somebody comes out with a pattern similar than that, I will be so grateful, because it has lace on it, it has open work on it, it has rip on it. You can tell it's fluffy. May have been a yarn that is you know, has some mohair on the, you know, on whenever they make the yarn. And then again, the same color again and again and again. I'm drawn to the same thing. I'm just paying attention, right? I've been holding this for a while. And then last but not least, I have this color that I want so bad, and I love this sweater. And I think Petite Knits have a sweater similar to that one, and I think I have it already. So I'm gonna go ahead, and I'm just going to go ahead and buy something similar to that, because that one looks like it's a little bit cropped, because she has it on inside of her pants. Or they also do that trick that they put it on the, they wear what is it, sports bra, and they just grab the sweater and they get it inside of their sports bra, and they just have like a crop sweater that is bumped out, you know, looks like balloon out, because they have the sweater on the bra. But who wants to have their tits like sweating? Nobody. Let's be real. Anyway, so with that said, if you're still here, thank you so much. Because yeah, it's a lot. So let's move into sewing, and I'm not kidding, I'm gonna be done in no time, because I'm done. It's black outside. I started when it was 2 p.m. 2:30 p.m. and I've been talking, Jesus, for 2 hours and a half. I'm not kidding. Okay, before I get into sewing, I forgot that I have 2 designs line up after talking about all this, right? And you lost track of what I was talking. I will bring it back to what I was talking about. So I color coordinated my sweaters, and I looked them up, and I was just like, what I'm missing. I have a lot of DK, and I have a lot of worsted weight. This is worsted. This is worsted. What else? This is worsted. So I have, and this is worsted. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, are worsted. And then I have DK 1, 2, and then I have 2, I will say, and then in 3, right? Did I count? Yeah, 3 DK, and then I have fingering. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and those are the ones that pretty much I use a lot because they're very good to be able for me to layer up really easy. Okay, so with the holes that I know I have and with yarn that I already have, I have 2 patterns that I want to talk about. Number 1, I bought yarn to make the bright sweater by Junko Okamoto, and she made it in an ecru color, and I wanted to recreate just that, and I bought this Cumbria yarn in the white heather color, which is pretty much an ecru, and I'm going to go ahead and make it in with this yarn. Is a sport weight yarn, and I decided to go ahead and buy the fingering because for me with Junko I never get gauged again with the same yarn that she suggests. And then the other pattern that is on my list is Hanging Leaves by Beth McDonald Stone, and she is making another sweater that I cannot wait for her to finish because I am going to make that one, and I'm going to make that mustardy yarn with the pattern that she's coming out. But she came with this pattern. This is her first pattern she came out with, and it's lace yoke down kind of sweater. Gringo is drinking water. Okay, so I remember when I was in 7th grade that we had a bunch of professors that were from the university that they did like night school there, and they worked during the day in our school. And remember 7th grade, the first test that we had in social studies class, she gave us a bunch of plain paper, and she wrote down the professor in the you know, blackboard. She put down 3 questions, okay? And we always have been doing like pairing or true or false kind of questions, but we had, you know, we have very little encounters with questions, and we all flunk so bad because we didn't know how to get there. And it reminds me a little bit of that. This pattern is very customizable. It's been done in a DK weight yarn, or you do a mohair with a fingering, makes a DK. This is a big girl pattern, okay? And I want 2020, stop baking up. I want 2020 to be the year of the challenge. I want to try brioche, I want to try lace, and I want to try to step it up a little bit more and have patterns that are a little bit more challenging than the ones that I'm making top down boring. And this is one that I'm super excited to do. She is one of those designers that are just like spot on good with her shorts, and she did all the, you know, test knitting, tech editing, all that, and it's a big girl pattern. So I am so excited to start with that one, and I'm going to make I wanted to make the cardigan, and I like it because the cardigan, if you want to do it, she gives you the instruction to steek it. With this pattern you have to pay attention. It's not a pattern for you to be, you know, watching TV with. That's why I want to have some other patterns like the Missoni Accomplished that I do watch you know, TV with. But for this one, I want it for those days that I wake up really early and I want to pay attention. I want to really put, you know, knit love and everything into my sweater. So excited. And she has a cardigan in this color, and I thought about it, but you know what, I am going to go ahead and just do the sweater. Maybe I do the cardigan, who knows. I love the cardigan so much, but I know for sure that I'm going to use the sweater a lot more because that's what I need. So I'm so excited, and I want you guys to check it out and give yourself, you know, give some new designers the opportunity, because there's great people out there. Like, you don't have to knit the 5 same people over and over and over. So those are my 2 patterns are lined up, and besides that, I did a little bit of yarn shopping. So I went to this yarn shop that is called Tricoteur. This is in Washington Square, is it? It's Capitol Hill. It was like a fancy ass fancy yarn shop. This is like the Cadillac of all the cars. Like, it was just like amazing. She has all the cashmere that you can imagine in this store. I never heard about it. I was in my dermatologist and I was walking and I saw this store and I was like, what? And the fun thing about this store is that you can go in, you sit down, they find you the pattern, you gauge swatch it there, you have the needles, everything there, and you leave the store with your very good stack of cashmere. Now she has more than cashmere there. She has a lot. Very fine yarn. It's like, this is Capitol Hill. This is Capitol Hill. This is not, okay, let's keep it. I'm out of battery, my second battery. This is how much I have talked. Okay, before this dies. So she had a bunch of yarn that she had 50%. So again, I bought this maybe for something, I don't know. And then I got this too, and this one didn't have ball bands at all. And then I found this mohair, tons of mohair that I'm not gonna use. I don't know what I'm gonna use it for, but I found this beautiful yarn that is a black with tweedy speckles, and I am so excited. I think I'm gonna do a hat with this, and this is everything more. This is a Peru tweed in Lana Grossa, and I wonder if she has more on all the colors, because I do really think I can make a sweater with something as gorgeous as that. Let me change my battery for the second time and do sewing. Okay guys, I promise we're almost done. I have talked 2 batteries worth of shit. Like, 2 batteries is 2 hours. Like, I am not kidding you when I said I went through 2 batteries. Talking. Okay, so let's talk about sewing really fast. If you have seen and hear what I have to say about this, you will be like, what the hell, Marilisa? Okay, so I bought this fabric a long time ago when I went to Berkeley, and I thought I could do a skater kind of dress. I love those dresses a lot, but then I was just like, well, I have enough to make a Nikko dress, and I want to try that. And I went ahead and I did a Nikko dress. I have to say, I put this on. I was bitching and complaining on Instagram. If you don't follow me, go ahead and follow me there, because I do a lot of bitching. But I complain about this a lot, and I was like on my phone, and I was talking on the phone, and I had this dress on without even having the hem on for hours, and it was the most comfortable dress ever. However, the color of the fabric doesn't work. It's there you go. There we go. Okay, there you go. So back into the Nikko, it was so comfortable. The dress was so comfortable, and I wore it for hours, and I was just like, I need to make this dress maybe in black, maybe shorten it up, maybe some color that, you know, is less striking, and I will definitely use it. So I'm gonna give that one to Stella. I know she's gonna use it a lot, and then we're gonna go ahead and make one for myself. But I love it. with that said, I make another Nikko top, and this fabric, I bought it again in the same thing. This one is a little loud for my taste, but then again, if you see my colors, this blends really nicely to those. So and this shirt is very comfortable as well. I really like it. It's long sleeves, and I finally found how to make these tops with using just the serger. So I'm so excited that I will whip some more of those, because before I used to do that zigzag kind of like lightning bolt stitch for jersey, and then I went and I finished the edges with the serger. Now I can go ahead and just use the serger just to make everything. And I did my daughter another Nikko top, and this color is just a light gray, and I am so envious because I love this one. And this one is the shirt that I made just using the serger, and it's way more you know, a lot of more movement. And I finally figured out how to make it just with the serger. So this is life-changing. I'm never ever buying a t-shirt again. I'm not saying that. I will, but you know what I mean. Like, I'll try my best, because this is so easy. I made this in 20 minutes. I made all this one that I have on, and then this other one, and a black one, in a couple of hours. If I sum it up, it was just like a weekend that I spent making all those. So I make a dress, this Nikko top that is for Stella. She requested something in this color, and then I made this Nikko top for me, and then I made this Monroe top from Tessuti. Again, this is a free pattern. The Nikko is not, but you get the dress and the shirt, Nikko dress and Nikko shirt, all together in one pattern. So you can use both of those. Thank you. And you can use it, that one comes long sleeve and short sleeves too. So, you know, you get a lot from that pattern. So I made this one in black. I cannot show you guys because it's nasty. I used it yesterday, and I have wore that like 3 times already. Yeah, 3 times. And it's on the wash. And then I make this one from a fabric that I got at Stitches here in Seattle. This is a navy stripe, and then again it's, you know, oversized on the sides, and you have the stretch sleeves. And I did the same with this fabric that I got from Hobby Lobby a year ago, and I made her the exact same tops, the exact same size, and with the sleeves. I'm waiting for her to arrive and come in, because she said that she wanted a crop, so I have not made the hem for her, because I don't know which you know, how long she wanted it. But I make this top in this color, and it's again super pretty, and I wish this was mine, because with me it will go perfectly with my stuff. And then last but not least, I think I talk about, if I didn't, I bought this pattern from New Look. It's the N6623, and I wanted to make this this version. So the difference is the length. So you have here kind of like over the knee, on the knee, and then under the knee. Okay, so this is V. You see it's really by the knee, and then the other one is just pretty much like that. I wanted mine to be this way, so what I did, I followed the instructions from the pattern. My size for this will be 16, so I cut a size 16, and I went ahead and cut the pattern when it says elongate or shorten here, and I went and I elongated 2 inches, and I bought this fabric from Joann's, and I bought one, and I have to put it aside because I didn't bought enough, and then I bought this color, and I decided to make this skirt, and I will insert a picture here of me wearing it. And I love this skirt. The pattern, I was not very thrilled, because they asked for my size, they asked for 1 3/4 of fabric, and I went ahead and I got 2 because I got 1 1/4 because that's what it asked for the shorter sleeve, shorter version. I couldn't get it because you cut this on the via, so you pretty much open your fabric and you put your 2 pieces, and you have a lot of waste fabric, and you guys know I don't like to waste fabric. But this month, the seam work people, if you don't have seam work, is a paid kind of subscription. It's $9, so that's what I pay, and you get 2 points every month, and you can use those points to buy patterns or to download patterns. So they have this skirt they came out with this month of November. It's pretty much the exact same skirt, but if you see the schematic of the you know, cute little drawing, you see that it has a line on the middle. I think that way you will not waste so much fabric like the amount that I wasted with this pattern, because although it's cut on the bias, you will be able to play with it, and I have not downloaded it to be very certain about it, but you had a flutter, kind of like, you know, a little bit more flutter on the hem, and then it's the same concept. You have a waistband that is elastic, the same with this. If it didn't show, I have an elastic here, and my elastic waved out. It's so big that it's just moving around. So Stella said that she wanted it, so you know, the reality is that I'm not going to spend any more time on it, because she's going to wear it one time and then somebody is going to steal this from her or wear it, leave it somewhere, and she's going to lose it. That's what my daughter does. And then the other thing that they have this month, if you have not seen it, is this shirt, and it looks a lot like the Cielo top. It's really nice top for an alternative if you don't want to have like a neck like this, or like the Nikko top that also is like a neck. If you want something boxy, this is really nice. And again, if you are part of the same work, you will be able to download this. And because you have that detail on the elbow, it will make the sleeves puff up and, you know, have more like a current taste to it. So that's all for my sewing. I'm working on this thing right now. This is my sleeves for my for my fractal dress. Fractals are gonna be this weekend, and I cannot wait to finish my dress and wear it. But so far, this is my sleeves. I'm going to have a very square neck, and I am debating if I want to leave my sleeve like that because it looks like a little kid, or if I want to bring my what is it called? This is my elastic up a little bit and have a little bit more flow to the sleeves. But then again, it's probably not gonna look good. I will probably ask my sewing friends and yeah, and I will show you guys that one next. I hope it's not a flop and you guys loved it. Again, it's out of my comfort zone, but if you notice, this is a dress that is gonna be more of like a show kind of dress, and you know, a more girly dress. It's really cold, so I am really worried that it's gonna be too cold and I'm not gonna be able to show it off without having like a scarf on or whatever. But I wanted to use this fabric. I got this fabric at Dry Goods. It's a store here. It was really expensive. It was like $27 or $29 a yard. I got 2.5. You make the math. I don't want to anymore. It's a silk, and with silk you have to do a lot of basting and doing a lot of hand basting just to keep everything from moving. So it's been a struggle. So yeah, oh my god, I've talked so much. I'm not gonna be able to cook. I'm gonna be like, Carter's gonna arrive and I'm gonna be like, I was recording. I didn't make the bed. Anyway, so not too much fun this week. Maybe next time I will explain why I was not my joyful self. But till then, take care. Bye.